This year, 2025, is gonna be my 10th year as a dialysis nurse. It was in the year of 2015 when I've officially enrolled in a hemodialysis training and everything just followed. The year after, I got the job as a dialysis nurse in a hospital where I got most of my experience for a total of 7 years. Then I transitioned to a dialysis reliever or per diem in an outpatient center while waiting for my US visa application. 2022, I arrived here in the US and I'm now running 3 years working as a full-time in-center dialysis nurse and at the same time the clinical coordinator and also a per diem acute dialysis nurse. Now the question is, do I still want to be a dialysis nurse? Hey nurses, Nurse Germs here. I'm a Filipino dialysis nurse and welcome back to my channel where I upload videos all about dialysis and my journey as an immigrant nurse here in the US. Today's video will be all about welcoming the new year 2025. We're going to reflect and look back at the key lessons, learnings, things to do differently, what worked well and what do we want to continue, what didn't work and what do we want to let go of. So go get a paper and pen. Together, we'll start an effective dialysis nurse shift routine for this year, 2025. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and hit that bell icon for new video every week as I take you with me in discovering nursing career. December was probably the most difficult I have had. A lot of changes happened during the last quarter. Teammates leaving and new ones coming in. Schedule transitioned from 6 days open. Now we're just 4 days. With patients squeezing in the same day, more tasks just keep on piling. With new teammates, more work and guidance to do. Some teammates in PTO, some calls out. I hadn't had any day for my CC, which is the day I actually recuperate and catch up with the task I couldn't do when I'm on the floor. I just couldn't breathe. But this is exactly what happened. It was the same week when I had my monthly visit, meaning my body is vulnerable, my hormones are firing up, and when I do, I sometimes skip yoga. The week after, I had my tooth extracted, so I skipped another week of yoga again. It was also the time of Simbang Gabi or 9 Novena night masses before Christmas, so I had to keep up everything in the nick of time to catch up the 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. mass for 9 straight days. So my mind never had time to free all the things that I've been dealing with, thinking of, and stressing about. And it was affecting everything. I was blaming the changes that happened in the clinic, but I never really reflected on myself. And this is what the power of mind has. Any thoughts and beliefs can significantly influence your experiences, actions, and overall reality. Meaning, what you think directly affects everything around, from your emotions, your physical well-being, and the outcomes you achieve in life. Essentially, your mindset shapes your reality. My negative thoughts were impacting my work routine. The worries or anxieties I was experiencing were significantly disrupting my ability to focus, complete tasks efficiently, and maintain productivity at work, leading to my decreased performance and stress. And this is the very thing I want to let go, my negative thoughts. I filmed something on the first day I was back to yoga. After all the stress I had, period was done, my tooth was finally healing, and I finally completed the 9 Simbang Gabi. I think I've been blaming to the clinic, to teammates, or to the work itself that I'm getting burnout or stress. Yes, they may contribute, but a huge part of it is because of myself. So on the 8th Simbang Gabi, I asked for enlightenment. I asked from God that show me signs as to what you want me to do. Should I transfer? Should I stay here or what? I don't know what to do. I just need some enlightenment. And then the next day, you know what happened? I came late to work. Then I figured maybe this is actually what God is trying to tell me. Because that time I was just complaining in difficult times. When the work is difficult, when other people are being difficult, but how about when I was the one being difficult? I couldn't actually feel that, but the other people feel that. And then that day, I was the one being difficult because I came late. I actually woke up 4:30. I didn't even know that I woke up late. I mean, at my mind, I thought it was 3:30, so I just did my usual routine. So by the time I was done with all the stuff, my morning routine, there was no clock in the bathroom, so I had no idea what time it was. By the time I was back to my room, I checked my clock. Oh my gosh! It was 15 minutes after 5 a.m. and I'm supposed to clock in at 4:30. So I woke up at the very time that I need to clock in. So I got missed calls. I've actually switched with my other nurse because I'm supposed to be the closer nurse, but then I switched so that I could attend the last day of Simbang Gabi. By the time I arrived, everyone is just okay. They was just so understanding, and I was so glad about that. And I figured I have the right team. So I think that was God is trying to tell me that I just need to see whatever environment I am in. And I figured it's me who really needs change. I just need that time management, that organization that actually lost. So last week, I brainstormed and tried to conceptualize on what I should have done better. I tried creating a list, which I actually did for the clinic, but this time it was for myself. Instead of making it as a checklist, I put the time I completed the task. That way, I know which tasks take more time and which do not. It was a whole new routine, not just applicable in the clinic, but also includes the time I wake up and the time I arrive home. And this is what I discovered. I spent too much on my phone even by the time I woke up and as soon as I arrived home. I use it to fully wake up in the morning before I start my day and use it to recharge as soon as I arrived home. It literally kills time, and as soon as I start what I need to do, I'm rushing, and it's an unhealthy way to consume time. So what I did was I used the Headspace. It's a mental health app that offers guided meditations, sleep support, and other resources to help reduce stress and improve sleep. Fortunately, the company I work for values our mental health, and we got the free subscription. I've actually downloaded this early last year, but just totally forgot about it or just ignored it. Anyway, they have a start your day routine. First on the list is a mindful breathing and a couple more activities. This is now how I start my day. They also have an afternoon lift, which I listen to during my second break at work, and their sleepcast as my bedtime listening activity. Then, to my after work routine, I finally got back to my planner. So as soon as I arrive from work, I go straight to my study table, bring out my work clipboard and planner, and plan for the next day. If not, I watch TV or read a book. As for my work list, it helped me figure out which part of my day I got more free time, and it's after homeroom. We do homeroom at 8 a.m. and the first patient of the second shift usually arrives at 9:30. Say we're done with homeroom around 8:15 to 8:30 a.m. So I have an hour to do the extra tasks like new orders, monthly progress notes, care plan, home medrecs, and etc. And all these really help, especially how I think now. I'm back to my usual self, chill in camp. So when the day gets busy and toxic, I just brush it off and move on. I know this because when the other nurse was complaining how busy and long the day was, I didn't even realize it. So this is what I hope to continue and keep on, starting my day with a good mindset. Because cultivating positive thoughts can definitely lead to more positive experiences and outcomes. So here's the dialysis nurse shift routine that I made. I know the routine is definitely different between clinics, but I'll make it as general as it can be that can be applied to any clinic. This might only applicable to chronic dialysis opening shifts, but as soon as I'm getting back hours in the acutes, I'll make another video like this. From the list I made, it starts with paper logs. Any paper that you log will fall under this one, such as inventories, biomed, nursing. Then, that also includes communication log. In our clinic, I use clipboards to categorize the different tasks needed to do for that day, like hospitalization tracker, vaccination, new access, cannulation, etc. Also, you need to have your own copy of the patient's schedule for that day, so you can update it easily for any changes. The first few tasks are super easy, so sometimes I set this aside to do later and do first what I think is more important. But this is also the one thing that can be easily forgotten. So first tip, never deviate from the routine. Our main goal is to follow what's on this list until your mind gets used to it and doesn't need the list anymore. Next will be the computer logs, depending on what electronic chart or system you're using. In our clinic, we have a facility dashboard that shows all of the alerts that we need to know, the labs, hospitalization, missed treatments, etc. With a hospitalization, this is where I update the list after checking each of the patients listed in our clipboard hospitalization tracker. For the labs, I prioritize the KTVs or adequacy and see who failed or still missing some labs, then reorder the lab test. Then printing. Print the lab and medication stickers. Then preparation. I rarely prepare labs, but bring out the lab tube so that techs can easily get it once they need to. Then for the medication, in our clinic, it's the opener who prepares the first shift meds. Then the closer will prepare the rest. First shift assessment and medications come after. We have 24 chairs and we don't clock in at the same time, which is likewise with the techs. My call time is 4:30 a.m. while the second one is 6:30 a.m. So I am assigned to all patients who come before the second nurse arrives. Averagely, the ratio for dialysis nurses is 1:12, and I get to do exactly that number of patients, no less, no more. I'm usually done by the time the closer nurse arrives, or I make it a goal to finish all the assessment and meds before the second nurse comes. Then my first break comes after. But before I do that, I check the vitals first and see which BPs are trending down or low or high so I can resolve it before going to break. Then I endorse it to the other nurse. Break time is 40 minutes, but only 30 minutes will be clocked in. So I have enough time to reset again for the next 9 to 10 hours drinking coffee, light breakfast, or just doing nothing. Afterwards, I go back to the floor, and this is where I have extra time to prepare for homeroom, which takes place at 8 a.m. So I aim to get a break at around 6:45 to 7 o'clock a.m. or else I'll be rushing already. And I don't want that. In case you're not familiar with homeroom, it's like a short meeting about anything that needs to be discussed, like hospitalization, lab alerts, changes of schedule, etc. The opener is the host and will give everyone the time to discuss anything they might have to address. Afterwards, I again have an extra time to do anything since the first part for the second shift arrives at 9:30 a.m. I finish all backlogs, do the extra tasks like new orders, plan of cares, home med recs, monthly progress notes, care activities, etc. As soon as turnover starts for first shift and second shift, the real shift happens. You wouldn't even notice the time here, but once you do, it's already time to go home. That's why I do the extra tasks during the extra time, because for sure there's no more free time once the first turnover starts. But I make sure to take my second break also. I aim to take it at 11:45 a.m. even though I still have patients coming in. However, the two will still come until 12:30 p.m. So I'll just have to endorse it to the other nurse. Another thing to do is to close all first shift treatments before break. As a tip, don't underestimate the power of breaks. The time you go to break will have a domino effect since the second nurse will take his or hers as soon as you get back. Treat it as part of your routine or task. Don't take it for granted since anyway you're still full and you want to finish the task first. Think of your other teammates. Check the clock from time to time. If you see that the other nurse is still busy but it's already time for him or her to break, remind him or her and offer help to whatever he or she still needs to finish. Sometimes we need to step out, re-energize in order to work efficiently. What I notice is that when the clock strikes at 5 p.m., my brain isn't working anymore. And mind you, I should be off by 4:30 p.m. It just means that I wasn't too efficient with my time. Also, remember there is a crucial time wherein both of you should be on the floor during the next turnover, or else you'll be left all by yourself dealing with the whole shift. Then that's the start of stress, burnout, drama, and all. All it takes is time management, teamwork, and a good lead. Trust me, when you surpass this one, you'll totally appreciate the difference. After the second break, which is lunchtime, some second shift patients have completed treatments already and third shift patients started coming in. Pretty the same routine as the first and second shift turnover. It's all about multitasking. While you are assessing the third shift patients, don't forget to close the second shift patient treatments, or else everything will just pile up and will take more time later. It's going to be hard at first, especially if you just started, but if you stick with the routine, putting in the time you completed each task keeps you a sense of accomplishment. Keep track of your time to see your pace for any improvement, which part of the day takes more time, which is more wiggle time, only you can tell. The list is just a guide and it's you who's going to polish it according to your clinic's routine. So, do I still want to be a dialysis nurse? Definitely. I don't think I can see myself working in a different area. This is so far the most tolerable nursing specialty that I have been in, from a nurse who's almost done all areas. But this is me, and this might be different in your case. Just remember that it's not always healthy to make decisions during difficult times. It will only lead to poor choices. Take time to breathe, make use of your PTOs that have been accumulating, reflect, meditate, then go back to why you've become a dialysis nurse and decide. List the advantages and disadvantages of your clinic. If ever you decide to transfer to a different clinic, is it worth doing another adjustment? If ever you go to a different department, are you ready to start over again and learn a whole new concept of nursing? As we start the year 2025, what do you plan to do? That's it. Hope you learned something from this video. If yes, don't forget to click like, leave a comment for some video suggestions, and of course, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next video.